Welcome back to another amazing episode of the FitBiz Journey podcast. Guys, in this episode, I'm going to interview Micha Marino, and he's an amazing coach and the co-CEO of Fight or Quit, which is an amazing clothing line that is on the rise. And I'm super excited because his story is so amazing and motivational that you guys really need to listen, because you might need this as of now. And Micha is so cool because, like I said, he practiced something that he truly loves, and then he became the master of it, and people just flooded him to become their coach. And he have coached thousands of pro athletes at this point, and now you can hear why he's so special and what he have went through. So tune in and let's listen, because this is going to be amazing. Micha, thank you so much for coming on our podcast. I really appreciate having you because I think you're bringing a huge value to the personal trainers and the gym owners, and of course, just the fitness community itself.
I appreciate you having me on, man. I try my best to spread as much knowledge or anything that I've learned in my past or any of my mistakes. So I appreciate you bringing me on.
And I wanted to mention right away that you were actually recommended to me to not only from some of your friends, but actually from some of our listeners. So some of our listeners reached out to me, and when I usually receive more than 10 emails from a single person that I would like to have him or her on the podcast, I right away look them up and reach out. And I received lots of messages actually and emails.
That's cool.
Yeah, after Hayden Bowe's episode aired, they literally started reaching out to me just a week ago. And the email just followed in and said that we want to have you, because they probably saw you on their podcast. That was my guess.
Yeah, actually, I've never been on one of their podcasts. I've done they hosted a powerlifting meet. So maybe on some of their YouTube videos, maybe being in the promos or something like that. But yeah, they're actually they're some of my good friends. They're from Miami. I'm from Vegas. So super knowledgeable people. Awesome people to have in your corner for sure.
Yeah, awesome. So I just wanted to clear it out and wanted to thank the fans, and thank you so much also, again, to coming on the podcast. And guys,
I appreciate you all sending emails, man. That means a lot to me.
Yeah, and you are doing something right, because like I said, people will just start messaging me.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
All right. So I wanted to start out with a little history about you, because you have done some amazing things. So firstly, guys, I just wanted to find out how he got started, how he got involved, because I'm dying to find out. How about you?
So it's kind of a cool story. I actually started powerlifting when I was like 12. My dad was a power lifter. He was the old big guy with the beards, long hair, many years ago. And he's about 60 now. He still lifts, but yeah, man, he got me into kind of powerlifting. I was always an athlete, playing football, playing hockey. Growing up, I always did sports. Like, that's all I did was sports, gymnastics, anything you could think of, I probably did. And then I just loved powerlifting. I did like a couple meets when I was like 13, and then did my high school football thing, which I was super good at football too as well. And then after I got out of high school, I always knew I wanted to be like a personal trainer. So that was like, I knew what I wanted to do. And then like, as I got into powerlifting, I kept meeting new people and I kept just getting better and better. So when I decided that like powerlifting, I wanted to make as like my career, I think I was about 19 years old. I did 19 or 20, I can't remember. The Olympia Expo, they invited me to come compete in the single ply division, which is totally different now. They have different categories, raw, single ply, all that stuff. So I got invited and I put up some pretty good numbers. And then Ed Cohn, I don't know if you know who that is, but he's like he's the OG of powerlifting, the Michael Jordan is what you would say. So he kind of like talked to me and was like, man, you could be really good. So that's when I got into it a lot. And then I broke my first like all-time world record, because they have multiple world records in powerlifting. It's kind of silly, but you have like federations, so you can set a world record for that federation. And then they have a list of all time, which is all for your weight class, all the federations put into one list. So in 2015, I broke the highest deadlift of all time, which was 795. I weighed in at like 176. I think I can't really remember the exact weight, but
176.
Yeah, it was the 181 weight class. So, and this was in a single ply suit. So, and then a couple months later, I think that was in October, and then in January of 2015, I set two more world records in the raw category at 165. I had the total world record with just wearing knee sleeves, no knee wraps. I totaled 1670 or a little less. I deadlifted 729 or whatever that weird number comes out to, but that was at 165.
Wow.
And then from there, got some a lot of exposure on social media. That's when social media was kind of like, when I say social media, I mean Instagram, kind of just like blowing up. And I gained a bunch of followers, and I was already like doing personal training on the side because I was a car salesman. And then after some of the world records, that's when like the coaching just got like, people would just message me like left and right. Like it was, I had thousands of messages from people. So I'm like, you know what? I've been in the sport for so long. Like I have the knowledge. I just got to throw it out there. So I started throwing up posts like, hey, accepting online clients. And then from there, 2015 till today, I've probably coached over 10,000 athletes across the entire world. So, and the cool thing is I've also dealt with, after 2015, that was the last time I competed. I just did a meet, and actually Stefi and Hayden, they hosted a meet and a few months back. That was my first meet in 5 years because I dealt with knee surgeries. I had 2 knee surgeries on both knees. So I was out of the sport for 5 years.
Wow.
Doctors telling me like, hey man, this is 5 years ago. I'm 29 now, so 24, 25 years old. Doctors telling me like, man, we've never seen knees as far as like cartilage and all that crap this bad. If you were 40, we would give you a knee replacement. Obviously they didn't because I wasn't old enough. So they told me, it was tough. I had 1 surgery and it took me a long time to recover from. And, they were like, yo, no more lifting. You got to stop. So after that, I was like, I was kind of in that depressed mode. I still coached. Like my coaching, I never stopped. I kept doing it because that was my career at the time, So I was like, wow, I just broke this world record. I actually signed a contract with a new company. Like everything was starting to be good. Instagram was blowing up. Everything was, but I was hurt. So, and then about 2 years after that, I'm healthy. I'm getting ready for my first meet back. I hurt my other knee. So then I have to have the same surgery, same injury, same bull crap I dealt with. But this time around, I went into it with a better attitude because I've been through it. I knew that what I needed to do, and I just got the surgery done. And then that was, 2 years ago now. And then I did my first meet back at Stefi Cohen's gym. They hosted a meet, the Hybrid Showdown. I squatted I weighed in at 180. I squatted 633. I benched 435, and then I deadlifted 733. So that's raw with knee wraps. Almost 10 times body weight. But the cool thing was about it wasn't no world records or nothing like that. It was just cool to get back on the platform and come back from like career-ending injuries is what I was being told. And I just never let it faze me. And I was like, I had to fight, and came back, and now I'm good, and I'm still training, man. I'm getting ready for my next competition when meets start happening again, hopefully soon. But yeah, that's kind of like, there's more stuff like if we go into like crazy detail, in 2000 and I want to say when I was 19 or 18, my younger brother passed away. He overdosed on heroin. He loved going to my meets, so that like kind of forced me to keep competing, and then it just became a love, man. So, but that's lots of crazy stuff's kind of happened in my life. Being kicked out at 15 years old, hustling 3 jobs, but I grew up in a hometown of St. Louis, Missouri, and a lot of people that even today, most of them are either dead or in jail or hooked on heroin. So like the only reason why I never really went down that road, trust me, I mean, I was a bad kid, like to fight, like to party, you know, whatever. But I never really liked to do the drugs or anything because I was so obsessed with my body and like training, you know what I mean? I didn't want to get weaker. So that's kind of like saved my life, powerlifting. So that's kind of like narrowing it down to a quick little rundown, but that's kind of how it all happened, man. I wouldn't change anything either, realistically. Like, you know, training for the meet that I got my first surgery for, I was being told like, hey man, you know, my body was yelling at me like, I need to chill out, I need to chill out. But at my mindset, being in 2015, my mind was like, I have a goal. I want to be the best ever at something like no one's ever done. And like, I just kept pushing and pushing, like probably shouldn't have, because maybe I wouldn't have been out of the sport for 5 years. But like, I still got that chance to do something that no one's ever done. You know, yeah, my world records have been broken, but at the time, no one did what I did. So I wouldn't change it. And then it taught me so much going through, like, if I wouldn't have broke maybe those world records, I wouldn't have been able to coach as many people as I did or learn the amount of info that I did with my injuries. You know, now I can help people with injuries. So it's kind of a little rundown.
Everything happens for a reason. And I love that your mindset was at the right place because you were able to recover and still recovering and created a business around it. Guys, did you hear this? So this is another amazing story of true passion and love. And eventually, when you become great at it, what you're doing, people just come to you. That's what happened with Hayden Bowe, and that's what happened with Stefi Cohen as well from Hybrid Performance, and this is what happened to Micha as well. And so many other people. They became really good at their craft, and people flooded their social media to please work with me. And you know, it's just sad because we talk about this in a minute, but you know, so many other business coaches and regular coaches and personal trainers do the opposite way. They create a click funnel, they create all this and that, and they get these bites and throw it out and crazy offers and crazy things to get people lure in and to sign up. And of course, there are some good ones that actually just do it to leverage even more. But it's so awesome to hear amazing people like Micha who did it the right way and accomplished something amazing, and he got rewarded for it, and he built an amazing business out of it.
I mean, if I'm gonna hire a coach, I want to hire a coach who's done it and knows it. You know, like I hands down would be like, hey, there's probably people out there smarter than me. I barely graduated high school, but at the same time, I've been there. I've had 800 pounds on my back. I've had 500 pounds in my hands. I've jacked up both knees, so I kind of been there. So I had no choice but to learn through the process, not through a textbook. You know what I mean? And I'm not taking anything away from people who do the textbook thing, but I think it's different than doing and knowing. You know what I mean? Like Stefi, she knows and she does both because she's like a doctor and all that. So, which is why their brand is as big as it is. You know, I think experience. You can't beat experience in my eyes.
Exactly. No, I 100% agree with you. That, I mean, what you said is that there's people smarter than you that, there could be people smarter than you in some degree, in some level, in some things, but you have your own niche that you're able to get into. And those smart people, if they're smart enough, they will actually hire you because you have done something.
No, I have many people that I coach that have degrees and this and that, and they just, you know, maybe they hire me to learn more, but you know, I always tell people all the time, like, it's different for me. Like for me, you might know more than me when you open up that book, but when you get an athlete to me, I'm going to guarantee you to get stronger or get better. And that's, you know, call me cocky or whatever, but that's truth. I have proved it. I've coached 10,000 athletes. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not, you know, I've had mistakes with a lot of athletes, but that's what's grown. That is what has turned me, made me learn more from each athlete, you know, and that's another category you go into is how do you take this athlete who's different from this athlete, but I know how to do it this way. You know, I don't do that. I don't say, okay, well, this is my way. This is what I know. No, I try to study each athlete individually and be like, hey, you're different from this person. Your body language is different from this person. You recover different. So that you don't learn that in a book. You know what I mean? That's hands-on. You know, it's like you might know how to build a house with with going to carpentry school, but when you get the tools, you're like, the heck am I looking at? You know,
Yeah,
a little different.
exactly. Yeah, and different things pop up. Just like you have athletes with injuries, you have athletes with problems, you have athletes with their mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I say I wouldn't change anything with my injuries, because they've made me not only a better athlete, but a better coach and a better person. So each time I'm talking to someone, I understand more of what's actually going on inside the body and inside the training, you know, like this stuff, the stuff we do isn't, you know, powerlifting we're not made to do this, you know, it's like MMA, you know, we're not made to be beating each other up or whatever, but football not made to do that. So, but there's ways to do it and we love to do it. So I just truly think that when it comes down to passion and experience, like you can't get past that. Like until the day I just lose passion for it. Like I think, I mean, man, I've been through so much and I just keep going, you know, and it's like, I'm not getting checks for each meet I do. Like, hey, yeah, I won a little bit of money at the last meet I did, but that's like, okay, that pays my car payment. You know what I mean? I'm not making money like these professional athletes. You know what I mean? That's why I love powerlifting, because we do this because we love it, not because, man, I got to play on the football. Nothing against football players or pro athletes, but at the end of the day, that's their job.
Yeah.
Powerlifting is what we love to do. It's our passion, you know?
Yeah. So now I want to find out how he transitioned over to coaching.
To be honest with you, man, like I've always helped people, like growing up through high school, helping people get stronger. And then when it became a point in my life where I was a car salesman, killing it, making crazy money, but working 70 hours a week, you know, selling 30 cars a month. So I think I learned a lot from there on sales. I mean, to be honest with you, if I could sell 30 cars a month and I don't know anything about a car, I don't even know how to change an oil. So what I did was I'm like, okay, let me take what I learned as far as sales and put it into something I love. So in 2015, that's when I was like, yo, I'm done with this car sales stuff. I'd rather lose so much money and do something that I love. So when people kept reaching out to me, I'm like, hey man, I literally made one post on Instagram and I still have the post. It's funny. And said, hey guys, actually it was Facebook. And I said, hey guys, you know, I've been helping people for free and that's what I did. I didn't want to just start collecting money and make money. I wanted to prove to myself that I can actually do this. So what I did was I started doing things for free. I was making enough money as a car salesman that I didn't need, you know, to actually make money off these people. And, you know, I started helping people, making mistakes, doing this. And then people started being like, hey, I'll pay you. What are you charging? You know, and this is online. This isn't personal training. So when people started offering me money, I'm like, no. And then finally, when I was kind of had it with the cars business, I was like, you know what? There was one person who lives in St. Louis. He hit me up and I was doing it for free. And then finally I was like, you know what? All right, man, you know, whatever. He's like, I'll pay you, blah, blah, blah. We worked out a deal. And then from there, I kind of worked with him for like a month and then, you know, working with 10 other people for free. And then finally I was like, you know what? I made a post on Instagram and I was like, $65 for a program just to see if I could do it, you know, and Facebook and Instagram. And that post, like that day, I made like $2,000 off of $65. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I was like, you know what? You know, like I said, I have no degrees on like how to run a business, man. Like this is straight. When I tell you that everything is off experience, from lifting, from business to owning 2 companies to doing what I do, it's experience. No one has taught me anything. No one. Like I barely graduated high school. Yes, I have people that have been in my corner that I've learned from, but no one's been like, hey, this is exactly how you do it. Let me do this for you. Let me do that for you. And for the most part, man, like I don't even have, for my coaching, there was no website. Like I wanted to do something that no one was doing in the coaching world, and that's be personal. Like most people, it's like, here's my website, go buy this. You never get to talk to me. When I first started coaching, I would do what we're doing once a week with all my athletes. I do everything, literally. If you like went to like my coaching business, this is literally what it is. It's WhatsApp, and I have hundreds and hundreds of athletes that I've coached. You know, and that's all I do is I'm personal with them. I want them to be able to call me. I want them to be able to text me. I want them to send their videos to me. So that's how it was. And then I had some people reach out to me on Instagram. I was like, hey man, like I have 100,000 followers on Instagram, and I literally, if you go to my Instagram, my personal phone number is in the bio. Like so I wanted to give that comfort for people to be like, wow. So it's so funny because people will hit me up on Instagram, or they'll text me and they'll be like, is this Micha Marino? And I'll send them like, yeah, dude, who else would it be? I don't have a secretary. Like, I do this all by myself. No one works for me. For the coaching, it's me. It's all me, you know? And that's what I wanted to do. And I didn't really think of like, oh, business, like I'm going to be rich off this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be doing being able to do what I want to do. I just wanted to help people and do it for a living. As long as I could pay my rent and eat and compete, I don't care. And then it just kind of blew up, man. And so many people appreciated the point to where it was like, oh, wow, I can actually talk to him. Oh, wow, I can send him a video and he responds. I respond to my athletes every day. It's not a one-time week thing or, once a month, so it's an everyday thing. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I'll go through my clients, talk to them. And then at night I'll send them their stuff. And, and I just try to make it personal so it's comfortable. Like, I'm a likable dude, and I use that to my advantage. And it got to a point where I had to, clearly I could have hired coaches and teach them what I know, but why would I do that if this person wants me to coach them? You know what I mean? So and I'm not taking anything away from other people and how they do their thing, but it got to a point where I was having 200 to 300 athletes at all times, talking to them every day, to where a point where I was forgetting about these athletes, and I was like, you know what, man, this is wrong. It came to a point where I was just making money, and I was loving it. I'm like, wow, I'm just killing it, making money. And I'm like, wait, I haven't talked to this person and blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, you know what? I have to cut back. I got to cut back. I don't want to hire any coaches. I want to do it myself. So then I started putting a limit on things. And I'm like, yo, I'm only going to do 100. Now I only do 30 people a month, because that's what I feel that is fair for myself and for the athlete to get what they need, So sometimes I'll have a waiting list of people who want to be coached by me. But now that I do this kind of full-time and do a full-time clothing line, I've really limited to 30 spots instead of I was being able to do 75 to 100 at a time. But I came from nothing, poor kid growing up, sharing rooms with my brothers. I'm not going to pay someone if I'm not going to get what I deserve. And I feel like that's what's fair to other people. So that's kind of how I do it. And then over time, it just became a business. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, holy crap, what is going on? I'm actually this is what I do for a living. I literally work from my phone, And then that's when I was like, you know what? All right, I've built this empire of coaching athletes. I want to do something next. And that's when the clothing line came, because the clothing line is about giving people that motivation and that that's why it's called Fight or Quit. And our logo's a claw and not a guy lifting weight. It's more of a lifestyle, and to be honest with you, a lot of athletes today or 10 years ago are soft. They want things like this. They'll look at people like me or Stefi Cohen or even my fiance, who's a phenom powerlifter, oh, I want to break a world record. And it's dude, I started lifting when I was 12. You know what I mean? I didn't start lifting when I was, and some people are just great and they can break world records lifting in 1 year. But it's dude, this is something that I've dedicated my entire life. I'm 29 years old. I've been lifting, powerlifting, not just lifting weights, gym bro stuff. I've been a power lifter half of my life. You know what I mean?
I love this. Yeah. Your story is really amazing, by the way.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. And that's kind of how it all just fell into place. And there's just so many different things that happened in my life, that I always came back to being able to just rely on fitness.
So now that we know his coaching business, I also want to find out about his clothing line. So let's see what kind of a success and plans he has for Fight or Quit.
It's crazy. We went from one shirt 2 years ago to now we have 70 designs in a whole store online.
70? 70?
We have about 70 designs, like t-shirts, leggings, socks, hats. Like we have it all. You know, we're about to do coffee. Then we're gonna open a gym. Like it's becoming an actual brand, and that's what I really wanted from the coaching. Is I wanted to be able to do it all. I want to be able to do it all. I want to be able to, and even the coach, or even the clothing line, dude. Like me and my fiance, she's the other co-CEO. We do it all. We have in my garage, we have a printing machine, and we print every t-shirt. We sign every order. Like we don't have we could have employees for sure, but I'm not there yet to where it's hard for me to let go of things. First off, it's hard for me to pay someone to do something when I want to do it, and I want people to know I'm doing it. Like I feel like if I'm printing this t-shirt and you're a fan of me, and you, like, let's say for example, I'm not like trying to say I'm better than, you know, I'm just saying for an example, like someone I look up to, like Kevin Hart, The Rock. If he had a clothing line and he was like, oh, by the way, I'm making your shirt for you. I'm always going to buy the shirt because he's going to have his smell on it or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I'm on their level at all, but I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying? When it comes from that person, taking it to the post office. I go to the post office twice a day, talking to people. Like I run the Instagram page. I don't have like someone who does that. I run my coaching, and I run my Instagram and the clothing company Instagram. We literally do it all, you know? And until we can't, I'm going to ride it out like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, your story is really awesome because you literally, all our listeners that are listening, they hoping they're taking notes because you have done it all. And what's so crazy is that everything aligned, meaning your car sales job and everything taught you so many things from sales. And then your coaching, your injury, and all that aligned to all of it that allowed you to actually create this business. And then now the business is booming, and not because you went out there and be like, all right, I'm going to be rich off of this. You went in with the right mindset that you want to help people, which is amazing. And that's so rare, especially right now. Everybody just wants to do the quick scheme and create a landing page and make quick money. And I don't care about the clients. Let's automate it. And I don't want to talk to anybody. That's how everybody looks at it right now. So you did it.
They want the easy work. And, and not only for business, like the people who I talk to are like, oh yeah, I'm going to get a clothing line. And I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm going to be a coach. I'm like, all right, cool. Like I'm not going to be the guy to be like, you shouldn't be a coach. You don't have this. You don't have that. Whatever. Like get in the field, man. Like you want to be a military dude and go do this and do that. You got to jump in the field. You want to swim to a different island. You got to start swimming. You can't just like keep going to school because you can only learn so much without actually doing it. You know what I mean? Like you want to deadlift 800 pounds. All right, well, stop reading books, get in the gym, dude.
Yeah, agreed. So what's next for you guys?
Well, like I said, man, our main focus right now is the clothing company. To be honest with you, like I want to get to a point where I don't have to make money off coaching. I want to get to a point where I can do things for free and like through social media. And I'm almost there. The clothing line is like I said, we went from doing like 10 orders a month to doing like 300 a month, you know? And this is our second full year. And it's not all about like, oh, I just want to be rich. You know, obviously I want to be successful, like, duh. I mean, but the thing is to be able to have the freedom of, I was never good with working with the boss. Like, even when I sold cars, I would tell the sales manager that I want his job. Like, I'm not here to be your friend. You know, and he was my friend. And I'm like, dude, I want to be where you're at. I want to make what you make. You know what I mean? I want to be a boss. I like the CEO like type thing, you know, and that's how it's become with this. And it's me and my fiance, and we do it all. She's also crazy. I mean, she deadlifts 545 and squats 400. And, you know, we've been together for almost 5 years. And, you know, right now we're just trying to continue to do what we do. And, you know, we were looking at getting like a gym and stuff, and, you know, but the whole virus stuff that's going on, like, that's kind of put a pause onto that. So we're now more focused on just continuing to grow. And what we try to do with the brand is different from other brands. Mm-hmm. I think other brands, what they do is they think when they pick items, they're like, okay, what can sell? well, let me put a donut or a pizza or something that people can relate to and slap it on a t-shirt. Well, we don't live that lifestyle of doing that kind of stuff. So why would we sell it, even though, yeah, sure, it might make some money, but I want to give out something that people can relate to. Like, we have shirts that say, just fight. Everyone can relate to that. A company that says, fight or quit. Everyone from 2 years old to 90 can relate to that. We have t-shirts that stay ready. Everyone can relate to that. Like, we have t-shirts that say hungry, like all these things that people can relate to. Like, you know, and we even have a t-shirt that says get cocky strong, because a lot of people don't have that confidence to do anything. They say they're going to do it, they're going to do it. And then guess what? 10 years later, they're still saying they're going to do it. You know what I mean? Instead of just doing it, you know? So that's kind of what we want to do, is we want to give people things that they can relate to. And that's why, and dude, never in my life was I like, oh, I want to be a designer. I want to create clothing. No, I want to be someone who, they buy my shirt and they're like, oh man, they put my shirt on and they're like, man, like I can't wear this shirt and not like, oh, I put on a Just Fight shirt and I'm like, I don't really want to go to work today. And then they're like, oh shoot, what the shirt says, you know, I just got to do it, you know, like that, you know. And like I said, I don't have degrees, so what way can I make money and help people at the same time? This is it, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just continuing to do this, and I want to get a gym to where, you know, there's a lot of people I look up to in the industry, and you know, like Mark Bell, what he does, he has a gym and it's free. It's just, you know, I want to do things like that. I want to coach for free. Now, probably when I start coaching for free, I wouldn't coach like I do for free. I would be more giving information out. You know what I mean? Like helping people understand what actually, because there's so many people in the industry that you just don't know who to hire. And that's not the rookie's fault. That's the internet's fault and everyone wanting to make money.
Yes.
No one wants to work, but everyone wants to make money. I want to make money, of course. Why, you know, if I didn't want to make money, I'd be having a 9-to-5 job at freaking Walgreens or whatever. You know what I mean? I want to be successful. There's things I want to do in my life, and this is how I can do it. But I think that's the issue, and people just want quick money, and they don't want to put the work in. So I'm gonna hire some Joe Schmo, and I'm gonna get hurt. You know, especially for young athletes. You know, it's just sad and it sucks. So I want to be that guy to be like, hey, let me show you how it's done. Now, granted, there's so many different ways of teaching. That's a great thing about the sport of powerlifting. No one knows it all, and if that person says they know it all, they're dumb. You know, whatever, you know. So, yeah, that's kind of the plan, man. Is just continue to grow, and you know, I want to create jobs for, like, I have athletes that are on the clothing company who bust their butts doing sales, and even with my athletes, dude, like, people want to, oh, how do I become a fight or quit athlete? And I'm like, you know, the way I do it, I've been sponsored by plenty of companies, getting paid, and I'm like, why are they paying me? I don't know if my code is even making any money, you know, like, they're just babying me, and like, I'm not going to do that. So, you know, with me being sponsored by so many different companies and learning how they do this and they do that, I become a brand. None of my athletes get anything for free unless they deserve it. You know what I mean? And when I say that, it's like, you put in the work, you show me that you deserve a free t-shirt, or I offer money for some of my athletes who, let's say, like another example, we have a drop coming up and I do competitions like, hey, whoever gets the most codes used today, I'm going to give you guys $200, you know? So it's not like, you know, so that's how I do things. And people be like, oh, how do I become an athlete? And then I'll just be like, yo, you know, first you got to support the brand. Like, you don't even have a fight or quit t-shirt. You don't even follow us. But then I'll tell them, they'll be like, wait, so I'm like not getting in anything for free? I'm like, that's the problem with today's, you know, people want everything for free. And I'm like, dude, no, I didn't get nothing for free. Like, I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, no, you work for it. And eventually, like I said, you know, I'll give you a job when we get to that point where it's like, shit, I need someone to run my Instagram. Hey, here's da-da-da-da. Congratulations. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, so that's kind of how it is, man. I'm just enjoying it too. I'm trying to enjoy every day. I know. And the thing is people, everyone wants to be a boss and run their own company. And to be honest with you, I'm not taking away from anyone that works a normal job, but to me, I feel like that's easy. Like for my dad, we talk about it all the time. He's a zookeeper, been doing it for 50 years, and maybe not 50, but 40. But he has that job security. He goes to work at 9 o'clock and he gets off at 5. The day's over with. He has nothing to worry about. For me, when I wake up until when I go to bed, I could be on a date. We could be doing this. I have to be available. If I want to grow, I have to put in that time. And people don't understand that this ain't easy.
100% agree with you.
Complaining, I love every minute of it. But if you don't have that like hustle mentality and that to go like, this is what I got to do. Like if you don't think like every minute of your life has to be a part of your brand, then you might not. I mean, I'm not a business, like I said, I'm not a business expert. I'm not freaking Gary Vee, but you know, I'm learning. I go with the flow, man, and it helps me become better. Yeah.
You have done amazing. And then since you mentioned Gary Vee, that basically everything that you have done is literally his recipe to success. And you are the walking, talking results of it, meaning, and you just did it from out of your heart and what you did right, and even coach clients for free at first. And all of those things is like what he's recommending to kids today. And all the kids say today that, what, for free? No way.
Exactly.
It's just crazy. Yeah.
It is a little silly, but I don't blame those people. I don't even know who to blame. I think blaming each other, like I always talk about like powerlifting at today has become like if 20 years ago you talked about a powerlifter, you would say like, if I said, hey, 10-year-old, draw a powerlifter on a piece of paper, they draw a monster with a beard, a big old belly, big scary looking dude. Now they'll draw a little scared little softy, you know what I mean? Like a little baby, you know. And it's like, man. Now the elite people I'm not talking about, obviously. They you know, to get to a certain level, you have to have that craziness. I know so many athletes that are amazing powerlifters, but they're soft and scared and they have fear and they just can't get to that next level. Like they'll be at the same spot where they were for so long because of like, well, I don't want to get hurt. Like to me, I've had injuries, dude. Like just the other day, some dude, some troll said, hey, I posted a video of me squatting and they said, hey, what happens when you have another surgery? I'm like, I'll get the surgery. And then he's like, oh, being crippled at 50 sounds cool. And I was like, yeah, but I was like, first off, it's 2020. They have tons and tons of surgeries that can help me. But for me to live in fear my whole life, just because I don't want to be crippled, I don't care. I'll be crippled. Sure. But I got to live the life I wanted to live and do what I love. Whatever. Call me what you want, man. You know what I mean? That's the kind of person I am. I'm not gonna sacrifice my body because I don't want to. I may or may not get hurt. Bring it on, dude. I've been there. You know what I mean?
Yep, you have true passion and love for it, so, which is very rare. So did Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, since you brought up Michael Jordan. But they played and trained hard even when they were sick and had injuries. So broken toe, everything.
You know what I mean? Every day. They didn't even let the money get involved. Sure, the money was nothing to them. Like, this is what they love to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they could, like LeBron could retire right now and still probably make more money through his endorsements, but he loves the sport.
Yep. What would be your, like, let's say, any advice or anything that you would want to say to any coach or personal trainer that would be starting out right now and wants to be either at your level or they just want to, let's say, help people? I wouldn't say, and make money, of course, but what would be like one recommendation to them if they want to be a coach?
Easy. Patience. Like, you have to have that patience and know that if I had to like break it down in a few words, it would be patience, hard work, obviously. I would have to say you have to be a little cocky. Like I have F humble on my arm for a reason, because at the end of the day, I know I'm going to do whatever it takes to be successful, so I don't have to stress about like fear. Like you can't fear anything, and just stay true to yourself. like a lot of people, they change with times because of this person and that person. Like me, I'm sure I change, but at the same time, I have a lot of haters because of the fact that I don't change and because of the fact that I'm true to who I am. And that's what's also created it to, or gotten me to where I am. And I'm not saying like I'm killing life. Like if you had to ask me, hey, would you, with where you're at in life, if you could make this for the rest of your life, would you be satisfied? And I would say no. And I do well. We do better than we did 2 years ago and last year or even last month. So I think patience is huge in this game. And just you have to be aware. You can't just expect. I don't expect anything. When I wake up in the morning and I have 0 sales at my clothing store, I don't expect to just sit back and be like, I'm gonna make $500 today. No, I do. I go out and get it. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I would. I mean, I don't even know if that's advice, but that's just kind of what I would do.
So how can you get in touch with Micha? Let's find out right now.
So for like, if you're looking for like coaching, dude, you can go to my Instagram. My personal cell phone number's there. It's 314-471-6396. That's the same number my freaking dad has, my fiance has. The same number is the same number. I don't. That is what it is. You want a coach that's going to be personal and you're going to be able to talk to. That's me. I'm not a robot. And then as far as on social media, my Instagram is Micha_Marino. That's my personal page. And then the clothing line is Fight or Quit Co. Because we had to add the co because some dude has Fight or Quit. Some kid in a different country has Fight or Quit. And he's like 11. I've offered him money all the time, and the kid just doesn't respond. I'm like, dude, I don't even know. I've tried to buy it off him. He just won't respond. So, but yeah, Fight or Quit Co. And then our website is fightorquit.com. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for coming on a podcast. I really think that all of our listeners have to agree with me, but this is going to be huge value to everybody in the industry.
No, man, I appreciate you bringing me on. I actually like doing these any chance I get to kind of talk to people just because of the fact that no one kind of told me how it was when I was 18, 19.
Thank you for watching, guys. It really means a lot to us. We are going to get some amazing guests just like Micha, inspiring stories and action plans for you to take action on. Don't forget to click on the next video right here to make sure that you're not gonna miss out on the next episode. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe right now, because every single Monday you're gonna get a new episode, and Wednesdays and Fridays we're gonna throw out some amazing content, and you are going to miss out on it. And especially now, because we're interviewing some accountants and so many people who can help you with this crisis that are going out there, then it's very time sensitive. So by hitting the subscribe button, you're literally going to get the latest and the greatest updates that you need to take action on as a personal trainer and gym owner. So thank you so much, guys, and see you next time.